We've already seen Volvo's electric EX90 SUV, a gorgeous thing, but it's also breathing new life into its other flagship, the XC90. It's got an all new look, an improved plug-in hybrid powertrain, a refreshed interior and all new suspension to give it an even better ride than before. So stay tuned, we're going to tell you everything you need to know about it. Let's start at the front because Volvo has a very distinctive face, and it's true with this updated XC90. You've still got the signature Thor's Hammer LED daytime running lights here, but they have a slightly refreshed look. It's still instantly recognizable as a Volvo, which is something a lot of people really like about them. But of course, you still have all the latest LED lighting technology on hand as well for when you're driving at night. But perhaps the most distinctive thing you're going to notice is this new grille design. Very distinctive with these kind of crisscross lines, header intersecting, and of course you've got the Volvo logo there with a built-in front-facing camera. This is one of the features that's really going to make this newer version of the XC90 stand out a lot more distinctive. And of course you still have some vertical slats here as well, again to give it that little bit more presence at the front. What else is new? Well, you've got an improved plug-in hybrid powertrain now, so it takes over from what we would have had in the T8. There's a larger capacity battery and gives it improved driving range. So you now have up to 70+ kilometers of electric only driving, which is more than enough for what you're probably going to need on a typical day-to-day basis. So you're able to do most of your commuting without ever needing that petrol engine to activate. Volvo has the same doors as before, so this element of it hasn't changed, but that's no bad thing because these doors provide nice, easy access to the cabin. You've got 22-inch wheel design here as well, and when you see the whole thing inside profile, you can see just how much this stands out. It's got that monolithic design without being overly imposing, and that's one of the things that a lot of people love about the XC90. Then when you come around the back, you've got a fresh take on what has kind of become a typical signature Volvo light design, how it comes around here. But of course, this has to be a practical family SUV, and Volvo delivers on that front. You've got an electrically operated tailgate, and even when all 7 seats are in use, you still have a usable amount of boot space. If these 2 rear seats are down, you can pop this up and stops your bags from sliding around, or you can also lift this up and have extra storage in there for your charging cable when it's not in use. But of course, if you don't need all the seats, they conveniently fold down fully flat, which turns this 7-seat SUV into basically a van. But as well as the outside, there's quite a few changes inside. So let's go take a look. See what's new. The changes to the inside are subtle, but the most obvious one is this new portrait style touchscreen. Now personally, I think it looks a little bit stuck on compared to how it was in the previous XC90, but it is a little bit larger, and more importantly, it runs a Google based operating system, and that's something that I think is a big improvement. You've obviously got Google Maps, which is my personal favorite for using navigation in a car, and you've got Google Assistant and all of the other Google apps. So if you are in that ecosystem, you are going to find it very useful and great to connect with. But of course, you do still have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay if you want to connect your smartphone and use it instead of this system. Other than that, you've also got an improved access to all the car settings. I find it's a little bit easier to use now than before. You've got things like different driving modes, and you can choose various different setups, especially with this plug-in hybrid, as to how you want it to perform. There's also 360-degree cameras, and you've got a fully digital instrument display as before. It's nice and easy and clear to read, which is something that I do like, and you can also have a color head-up display as well, so you can have all the relevant driving information right in your eye line. Other changes, well, the steering wheel isn't any different than before, but again, it's nice, simple, easy to use, and it's very easy to activate the pilot assist function as well, which is Volvo's kind of assisted driving mode, and it is actually a pretty good system. The center console has been slightly redesigned. You've got this Aura Force crystal gear shifter here on the plug-in hybrid model, and you've got a 2+1 cup holder set up in front, and a little bit of space to put your mobile phone there as well if you want to wirelessly charge it. There's a little bit of storage space in here. You've got a 12-volt socket, you've got USB-C ports. You do also have USB-C ports in the back. I'll show you those in a moment. And you've got a practical glove box here as well, which is activated by the button. Again, plenty of space to be able to put some odds and ends in there as well. There's also new materials here on the front of the dashboard and on the fascia. These do look really, really nice. Again, Volvo is tapping into using more sustainable and recycled materials. Apart from being slightly better for the environment, I think they actually look pretty good. But the single best feature of the XC90, I'm glad to say it hasn't really changed at all, are the seats. These are some of the best seats, most comfortable, most supportive seats in the business. Volvo hasn't changed them a great deal, and that's a good thing. There's a lot of nice details on them. Again, you've got nice upholstery options, really nice detail with the stitching throughout on the front and on the back, and you still have that Swedish flag on the side as well. In the back, there is a very good amount of space, even for adults sitting here. I'm a fairly average height, I'm about 5'9", but I got loads of headroom here, loads of knee room, and that driving seat is set up for my typical driving position, and I can even stretch my feet out underneath the seat in front. Okay, it's not quite the same story in the middle seat, but that's always been a little bit of a trade-off, although Volvo in some markets will offer the XC90 as a 6-seater, giving a little bit of free space to access the rear. Crucially, there is versatility on hand here. These 3 seats in the middle here are all individually maneuverable, so you can slide them forward and back to either create more space for those further back or bring it forward and give more leg room. So there's a lot of versatility here. If you're not using that middle seat, you've got a cup holder set up as well, and you can also adjust the angle of the backrests as well. So if you want a more reclined position, you can do that too. Both of the outer seats here as well are also equipped with ISOFIX, so they can get a child seat in there quite easily too. You've got vents here in the back and a 12-volt power socket as well. Now, of course, the main thing is this is a 7-seater, and not all 7-seaters are really truly 7 seats. So can an adult fit in the back? Let's find out. To get into the third row, each of the outer seats here tilt and slide forward. Then you can climb in and sit easily on either side here. And there you go. And once I'm sitting in here, this is actually one of the rare 7-seaters that can fit 2 adults here in the back. I've still got a decent amount of headroom. I don't feel scrunched up in here. I've got a nice enough side window here, so I'm not looking just at a blank pillar. And I've also got a cup holder, an armrest, ventilation, and extra storage between these 2 rear seats. So even as an adult, you're going to be able to sit quite comfortably here over a relatively long journey. So that's our first look at this updated Volvo XC90. Order books for it are set to open in November of 2024, and first deliveries will begin early in 2025. If you want to know more about the car, do head over to our website. It's CompleteCar.ie. You'll find it linked in the description below, and it's a great resource for finding your next new car as well as keeping up with all the latest news. Thanks for watching.